I lie awake tonight with an empty chest and a head full of everything I left unsaid. I must have told her that I loved her thousands of times, but I could have said it millions of times. Those were the days that I took her for granted. Whenever I was mad at the world, mad at myself, mad at things that didn't matter anymore. I could never be mad at her, and that was the worst part. I think that's what's eating me up right now. That's why I'm left staring at a blank ceiling at 2 a.m. I haven't really been loved. Not since she passed away. If there is a connection to hold on to, it's usually fleeting. Friends of old friends that reduce to warm acquaintances. I don't ever see those people again. They're just there for a laugh and a drink. I notice in particular that they recede when I need to be held the most, when I can't get her out of my head. And you know what? Good for them. They can live life without thinking about the past, but I can't. She's in the rearview mirror every time I'm out on the road again. I don't know what any of these people have got going on in their lives. I'm not an expert on what people go through, but I can tell straight away they don't get it. Same with my family. I wish they would just cut the bullshit because they're not gonna understand. They didn't know her like I did. I'm getting upset even thinking about this. Do this, do that, but we don't care that you're hanging by a thread. Just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. At this point, I'm giving up on sleeping. I'm growing quickly annoyed at even the thought of them trying to downplay the way I'm feeling. Standing up from my bed, I throw on a random set of clothes and hop into my shoes. I'm hoping a walk might help clear my head. Normally, I'd be cautious about going for a little stroll this late, but there's no crime here. It's a pretty quiet place, so I'm not exactly thinking of how to scare off a would-be attacker. You know, this town has a name, but I call it Memory Lane because everywhere I go, I think about the things we used to do. The walks we took during the day, the conversations we'd have by the pier at night. It all meant so much to me. The crisp air I smell and breathe harkens back to the days I spent in that bliss. And I'm sure she was happy. I used to hope that was the case, but I don't give much credence to hope anymore. I can't change the way things were, for the better or for worse. All I can do is mourn. I walk by a restaurant we used to frequent. I won't lie, I always thought that it was overrated for the price. But she loved it, and I put up with it because I wanted to make her smile, make sure she had a good time. It wasn't different from any mom and pop joint. Hell, I even thought the mom and pops were better just by a hair. But that didn't really matter. The pizza itself wasn't the point. I just liked being out and about with her. Somehow, I have the strangest feeling that I'm not alone in my reminiscence. Like a familiar feeling in my chest. A freeze frame of the sidewalks locked away in my memory. Perhaps the way I breathe in the moment. It makes me feel like I'm there again. Almost with her. It's easy to disregard it as déjà vu, but I'd like to hold on to it. It's all I have left of that time in my life. I don't look at the pictures anymore because, if I do, I wouldn't want to get out of bed for a week. Embracing the sorrowful reverie, I continue with my hands in my pockets. The storefronts have never felt so distant to me as they do now. Distant is an interesting phrase. It feels like I'm beside the moment, near the physical domain, but I am lost in a deeper dimension of grief, separated by heart and soul from everything that brought me joy. So, in a way, distant is a fitting word. But it doesn't wholly address the way I'm feeling right now. Distant doesn't address the calls for my job asking when I'll be back to work. It doesn't provide an accurate answer to my friends asking me where I've been. And it certainly doesn't help me explain to my parents wondering why I'm so silent these days. I just tell them all that I'm going through some shit. After another 5 minutes of walking, the old bookstore comes into view. She used to love to find an interesting sounding novel and just read a random section of it. She'd rarely ever purchase one though. I thought it was cute. It was her little ritual that she made ours. I like doing it too. Sometimes I wish I had the context to find some of the things I discovered. She just appreciated the mystery of it. I go there sparingly now, but only when I need to be reminded, for better or for worse. It's comforting when I feel the weight of the world resting on my shoulders. She'd be happy if she could see me. That's what I try to tell myself, anyway. I hope she's elsewhere. If she is in some other place, perhaps we could still be connected by spirit. And if that's the case, maybe we'll be reunited in death. But I'm getting ahead. Way ahead of myself. I gotta keep in mind that I still have a life to live, even if it seems dreary right now. Averting my gaze back to the road ahead, there is a curious sight to behold. Before my eyes, a formless glow hovers on the street corner. Ocean blue as the hue of the atmosphere, like an echo of the early morning sky. The shade of a memory warped into a pulsating, rhythmic shine. It hums softly like a breath that's already been let out. I can hardly believe my eyes as it slowly drifts towards the direction of the boardwalk. I must follow it. For even greater than my curiosity is the growing sensation in my chest that I know that light. Beyond the confusion of accidental familiarity, the shadow of doubt no longer casts gloom on my judgment. This is something I used to know well. She used to say that nothing ever really fades. All things go with the flow of creation. Our marks on the shoreline of the cosmos will settle once more into a blank canvas for new impressions to be made. But the outline lives on in the shape of recollection. As long as another perspective exists to witness the footprints planted against the wet sands, the ghost of that identity will linger on. I never knew what she was on about. Lessons of life, contemplations of the meaning of death. But I like those things about her. I appreciate people that I can at least try to hold a philosophical conversation with. I get very quickly lost in the words when people explore consciousness, but I get very lost in the words whenever people explore consciousness. But I prefer it any day of the week over someone that's only there for a good time. The glow floats further up the road as I quicken my pace to try and keep up. I need answers for whatever is going on to my perception. I'm getting the feeling that I'm not in the right state of mind. It's not that I've transcended any physical gate. Time flows differently around my awareness. In honesty, I feel like I've been drugged. The heavens move above me with a pep in the steps of the constellations above. Minutes pass by at twice the speed, shifting the array of stars before my eyes. That's when I remembered what she said about wanting to live forever. She told me she only wanted to exist until the end of time if she could take me along for the ride. But I always thought it was a depressing notion, watching everyone and everything else fade into unrecognizable versions, pieces of a world you knew, lost to time, all while you haven't aged a single day. She understood the implications of the hypothetical, but those other things didn't matter to her. Not in a way that she would express anyway. All she ever wanted was to explore the world with me. Absent of any limitation, the blob of luminance is slowly settling into a shape while it drifts onward. Vaguely, I can see arms and legs materializing for the warmth of its shimmer. A silhouette encased in the visual anomaly like water taking the shape of its vessel. I've now gone past trying to rationalize it. I need to understand why this is happening to me. Why tonight of all nights I appear to be losing my mind. I'm starved for love, drained of all my worldly ambition, and I just can't let go of her. A faint cerulean hue appears on the horizon. Dawn approaches. The sunrise. She used to beg me to get up early in the morning to witness it with her. Getting up was the hardest part, but whenever I sat with her in the sand, I was having the time of my life. The quickly developing shape seemingly glitches further away when I try to catch up to touch it. It's with a start that I realize we're headed towards the boardwalk. I have my doubts, and I hardly believe in the supernatural. But is this a message? A specter? I no longer feel certain in my pursuit. Am I in danger? Then again, if the presence harbored ill intent, it could easily have made its move already. The sounds of the sea's roaring waves make their home in my ears. I recall her and I aimlessly wandering the lengths of the boardwalk whenever she wanted to go for a stroll. We'd be hand in hand, without another thought to distract me. Scanning left and right, I don't see the figure on the planks. Instead, turning to meet the side of the ocean, I glimpse with teary eyes the final form of the blue glow. My love, trapped in the eerie vistas of death. The sky is growing brighter by the moment, and I fear that our time will swiftly come to an end. The waves no longer scream. They breathe like the whispers I long to hear again. Time no longer dilates around my perception. The world feels completely still. Wind slides across the sand like sighs uttered too late. It brushes my cheeks like her fingers used to. The path behind me fades into memory with every step forward. The sand is cool beneath my shoes as I make my way towards the spirit. Beautiful as the day I lost her. Charming as the moment my eyes first studied her complexities. A tear falls from my eyes. I can hardly hold myself together. The blue aura around her being distorts some of her features, but I can tell she's wearing a dress. It's strikingly similar to the one she wore on our first date. I want to say something, but I can already feel my control slipping.
You don't have to say anything yet.
She walks to the water's edge with me and looks out.
Still beautiful. Still too cold.
I take a breath, staving off the sob that builds in my chest. It's colder than I thought it would be. She laughs.
You never remember how cold these waters are until you're near them.
You always said that.
I was right a lot more often than you admitted.
I sniffle and grin ever so slightly in reply. I'm admitting it now. Flashing that heart-melting smile again, she laughed.
Took you long enough.
We both fall quiet, the kind of silence that just feels earned. The kind that recognizes what was lost. It's been hell without you.
I know, but I've been watching, and you've done better than you think.
The dam in my chest breaks. Tears stream down my face as she reaches out a hand to wipe them away. Of course, she can't physically interact with me, but the sentiment comforts me. I haven't been the same. I find no joy in anything anymore. I can't move on, even if I do have closure.
I never asked you to move on.
Then what do you want?
To keep going? To live enough for both of us? To find love within yourself and give it to everyone else like I know you can.
Some days, I forget how to live.
But you remember eventually.
She looks at the horizon. It's starting to blush faintly. The pre-dawn blue slowly gives way to approaching gold to herald the new day.
I brought you out here a few times. You always wanted to go back to sleep, but I promised it would be worth it.
I thought we'd have more time. She steps closer until we're shoulder to shoulder, separated by her incorporeality, but I could feel a warmth spilling into my heart because of the moment.
Everyone thinks that. Every sunrise feels trivial until you realize that someday you'll experience your final golden hour, and loss is part of it. It's the taxable token of having loved another.
Those damn taxes. She laughs, and the silence briefly returns. I'm scared of forgetting what love feels like.
Then let me become a part of you instead. Let me be in how you love, how you slow down, how you laugh at dumb jokes. Let me echo in everything soft you do.
A sob escapes my lips. I wrap my arms around myself in a feeble attempt to hug the feeling in my chest. The warmth, the soft glow that now lives within me.
It's okay to cry. Just don't stop living when the tears stop too.
The first rays peek across the sea, bleeding light into the gray. A golden halo rises from beneath the edge of the world. She watches it like it's the most beautiful thing she's ever seen. I cling to the moment and gaze upon it as well.
There it is.
You're leaving, aren't you? I try to ask, stifling the whimpers that ripple in my voice. Smiling, she turned to face me.
I was never really here, but I never really left either.
Will I see you again? She doesn't answer right away. She walks towards the light that quickly envelops my vision. Her form begins to scatter like mist caught in sunbeams.
Promise you'll keep watching, even when I'm gone.
I will. I'll never look away again. And she's gone. The sound of the waves returns. I stand alone. But I don't feel alone. Not this time. Never again.